Hello guys, it is Incon. We're going to be doing another SPL review here. We had some games on Thursday that we're going to go over, so let's go ahead and get ourselves right into these. Our first game of the two games we had was FNATIC versus London Conspiracy. This was a big game for Europe. Basically, FNATIC had to win this in order to guarantee their spot. London Conspiracy, in order to go through, had to win 2-0. And London Conspiracy actually won the very first game. 52-minute Smite game. As far as I'm aware, that's the longest game that we've had this SPL season. It was really close. It was really back and forth. There was throws on both sides. There was crazy plays on both sides. But London Conspiracy came out on top in this first game in what was, while a relatively slow game with only 19 and 17 kills respectively, was still a crazy intense matchup. You could feel the intensity between the two teams of not wanting to throw and we gotta do this, we gotta win. And it was an awesome game. London Conspiracy took it down. Unfortunately, they could not keep that momentum going. While they won the first game, the second game was bad. It just wasn't even close. 18-4 in favor of FNATIC. FNATIC showing why they've been a top team in Europe since the origins of Smite, previously SK Gaming. They've been to essentially every single LAN that Europe's had to offer, plus Worlds. They did very well at Worlds, getting top 4. They're going to continue to do well. Reels is an absolute monster, and he gets me a quadrillion fantasy points, and I appreciate him. Captain Twig playing extremely well on Circuit, really drafting a very strong composition from FNATIC. Not a huge fan of them putting Snakeskin on Aphrodite, going 0-3-1. I feel like they do well when he plays bruisers, particularly Tyr. Yeah, Tyr was banned, but put him on a different bruiser, or at least Bakasura, just not Aphrodite ever, please. But getting into our last game here, they did listen and put Snakeskin on Bakasura, but it didn't really matter because Reels exists as a person, and he went 9-0-10. And I'm not saying that I love Reels to death, and he's a pretty cool guy, and if you guys haven't met him, you should meet him at a LAN sometime because he's pretty swell, and he's got a pretty cool accent. But FNATIC just not messing around in those last two games. Definitely had a stumble in their first game against London Conspiracy, but the last two games coming out strong, picking strong team comps, doing what works. Their raw middle works when they pick it in the second game, so they do it again in the third game. Rama works in the second game, they pick it again in the third game. When something works, you don't change, you just do it. Smart gameplay by them, period. Now, this set of games, I don't think anybody really thought would be that close. TSM, the best team in North America right now, it's just the way it is. They're the #1 seed. Even if AFK or Cloud9 wins both their games on Sunday, I think TSM is still the first seed no matter what. Because TSM beat both of those teams, which means that I think they're going to be higher seeded. But not the point. The point being that they came out in their first game very strong. Not necessarily trolling. Bush has been known to play mid ADCs. Snoopy loves to play the Vulcan. If you play a Vulcan ADC, you need another physical damage, typically elsewhere, especially if you're going to be running Divios on Athena. It worked for them. It wasn't even close. Enemy adding 2 new players to their team, putting Jerby middle and putting Mr. Makey over in the solo lane, and then switching in Sazik to the support role. A lot of role swaps, changes, player changes there. Did not work out for them. Jerby picked Bastet middle. Doesn't really matter that he did, but regardless, probably shouldn't be playing Bastet middle, but that's not the point. So we get into our second game, and the second game was not as bad. I mean, they lasted another 4 minutes. They just played very... Snoopy's like, I can play Vulcan every game, so why not? People kind of thought maybe they were trolling a little bit, picking the Nezha support. I don't think it's troll because they literally ran Nezha support at Worlds, and I tell you right now, you would not troll at Worlds ever because of how much money was on the line. So they definitely have a niche pick for it, and they have some sort of qualifications to do it. And basically, Gars and Boosh just went off anyway, so it didn't matter. Enemy could have a better maybe season next year. They're going to have to re-qualify for the summer split. They're going to have to go against the top 4 challenger teams. So you may see them again next year in the SPL, or they may be a top team in the Challenger League. Either way, some of those teams are going to be swapped in and out, and we're going to see how that goes. But that ends our review here for the Thursday games. We've got more matches coming up Saturday. We, AFK, play on Sunday against Cloud9. The winner of that game, regardless of if it's 2-1 or 2-0, is going to land between us. Best of luck to Cloud9 in those games. But you guys won so much money at Worlds. Please, I just want to make some more money and pay my rent. Nah, I'm just playing. No, good luck, guys. And thanks you guys for watching the video. I hope you guys like it. And I'll make sure to get my review videos out for this weekend, coming up next week. And as always, have a twitching day, y'all.